This is a quick video on how to set up payroll in Xero and then register for STP. So this is a payroll only file. If you click on the little button next to the name and go to settings, what we need to do then is go into payroll settings. From there, it's a matter of going through and clicking all the details. It's actually quite simple. So in this kind of situation, we've got who it is, we've got the address, we need to put the telephone number in there and an email, and we hit save. Once you've done that, you're going to need to go back through settings. It's a really annoying way of doing it, unfortunately. So we need to go back to payroll settings. And then we have the main payroll settings set up. So what we need to do is make sure that we've got a bank account that's set up. The PAYG, the wages accounts all should be set up in your Xero anyway. You can put a logo in there if you want to. The next thing you need to do is to go to your payment calendars, and you need to add one. And that is when you choose how often you're going to pay your employees. You can see it can be weekly, fortnightly, twice monthly, 4 weekly, monthly, or quarterly. So in this situation, I'm going to go monthly. The start date is going to be whichever date that we're choosing to start, and the first payment date will be after the end of that either month, week, or whenever it happens to be. So we'll pay it on the 2nd, and we hit add. So you can see here that we have pay calendars. You can add as many of them as you like. We can add holidays in, which is when you can choose which ones you want. So you can see there that the Queensland ones are all in there. If you want to add a holiday there, you can add them in specifically if there's something that's in your town or council. Then we look at the pay items. So generally ordinary hours is in there automatically. You can add other pay items. You can add deductions, reimbursement, and leave. Now leave automatically has carer's leave and sick leave, holiday pay in there automatically. The next thing you do is you need to add a superannuation fund. So you need to look for the actual fund. You can choose the name or the Uzi, and then we just add it. So I've just picked Sun Super there to make it easy. Once we've done that, then we set up the actual employee that we're doing. So we go to payroll and employees. So it's a matter of clicking add employee. You can add them individually or in bulk. So we type the name. We put in his date of birth. You can put the gender in if you want to. You can put a phone number, an email, and his address, which we need to put in. So you can also put emergency contact details in there. When you're happy, hit save. Okay, it tells you that it's been saved. Then we go to employment. You've got to put in their start date. Now, this ideally would be the time they started with your business, so not this year. So the date that they became a director of the company. The calendar, the payroll calendar, so you choose which one and you choose their earnings rate. You then choose the super fund that they're in, and if you have their employee number, you put the details in there. So it's not going to let me go, so I'll just pick one for now, and then we save that. Once that's done, then we go to the taxes column. Now in here we need to put their tax file number, their employment basis, so full-time. Then we go through the ticks as per the TFN declaration. When you're happy, you can save it, and you should actually click on the File Now button as well, which sends it through automatically to the tax office. But if this is someone who's been with your organisation for a long time, we don't want to file it now because we don't want to run any flags with the. From there, we can go across the tabs, the main one that's there is the pay template, which is where we set up pay. So we go the earnings line, ordinary hours, then you put in whatever it is that their earnings rate is. We add a super line with the super guarantee. Now, you can change this. I'm just putting an explanation in there. So now we have this person set up in payroll, and it's a matter of then going through and processing payroll. So if we need to do another one, we can go back to employees and add another employee exactly the same way. Pay them, we go to pay employees, add pay run, we pick the first one, then we click on each person, or the first person, we check that everything is correct and matches up to what's been paid in the past. We hit save. If it's the next person, we hit save and next, if there's another person after that. When we get to the end, we hit close. When you're happy with that, we post the pay run. Now, posting the pay run will mean that it's there for posterity. It can be edited if you need to change it before you file it with the ATO, and you just revert it to draft. Okay, but the next thing that you need to do is actually register for single touch payroll, and this is something that you're going to need to be prepared for. You're going to need to make sure that you're an authorised person on the ATO account for the business, and you're going to need something like the last BAS to be able to prove your ID to the person on the end of the phone at the tax office. So this box here, we hit get started. We hit opt in for the tax year. We check that the details are correct. If they're not correct, you can update it. If it's not all in there, it'll come up with a big red mark. We hit continue. We choose who you're going to go as, which in my case, it's only going to be, in your case, it'll only be the business. Then you need to leave this page open. You need to call the ATO on this number, and then you need to talk to the people and say that you want to register your Xero for single touch payroll. And they will ask for your ABN number, they will ask for the proof of ID, they will ask for this software ID. Once that's done, we click the tick bottom and hit register. Now, what that means is when you go back into the Pay Employees button, so let's go back. Yeah, that's where we want to be. Sorry, my apologies. You click on the pay run, and there will be a green file button that is here. You click on that, then you click on the authorization and you hit OK. And you will need to go through every pay run that you've done for the year so far to push it through. So what that will do is put the information into STP. It means going forward you need to do this each week, fortnight or month between the time on your processing pay run and paying the employees. You're meant to hit file and actually update the ATO with that. But what it will do is it will trigger in the system and mean that all the automatic goodness that comes through from the stimulus packages will help. So that's setting up payroll and setting up STP in a nutshell.